Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome to the very first episode of the Heaven is Here podcast. I'm your host, Timothy, and as you can see, I'm just out here at the lake behind my house, and you kind of see I keep this um natural creation theme throughout my whole podcast. It's just I sort of feel more in God's presence, I guess, in His creation. Um, I just wanted to make a quick introduction episode to this podcast because I feel like it's hard as we go on and deeper. It's hard to fully listen to somebody if you don't know at least a little bit about them. So that's what I hope to accomplish with this episode. So if you see me look at my phone, I just wrote a little bit of notes just so I don't go down a rabbit hole. Um, I'll just start from the I gotta make sure I keep this at a good distance. I just want to start from the beginning, as like the beginning of my life. In the early years, I struggled with meaning, um, trying to find fulfillment in things like success and relationships and um, money and clothes and girls. Well, I said relationships, but the list just goes on. What else? Materialistic things, that as a young kid in America, the amount of materialistic things you could want is, I don't even want to go into that, but just things like that, worldly pleasures. I fell into that at a very young age through the different entertainments I would watch, like what I would watch on YouTube or Netflix or whatever. It shaped my mind to long for all of these things and for me to not feel complete unless I had those things. Um, there's a plane going by that's not really helping. I don't know how much is picking up on this. Usually I won't use these mics unless I'm away from my balcony, but I'll just sort of speak a little bit about my parents because it's a whole topic that I want to save for later. But growing up, my parents' marriage it was sort of the type that might have looked okay to people that didn't live in the house with them. Um, my dad, he would do things that I would say that no married man should really partake in. And as life goes on, my mother stayed with him throughout those years, but it would sort of develop this idea in me that I could do anything in a romantic relationship. I could do anything, or not even just in just relationships, period. Um, that I could do anything, act any way, and they'll just be cool. The girl would be fine, we'll just keep it rocking, and we'll see later that that was not the case. Um, high school, in high school, I was sort of the popular loner type of guy. I just wanted to seem so cool. I really wasn't. I just always wanted to feel superior to my classmates, um, which in the comparison, I want to do almost a whole series on the dangers of comparison, but nobody wins. So even if I came out on top in comparison, it still didn't really make me feel good. Um, but yeah, I was just that guy that was always tried to look cool, didn't say much to anybody, just that mysterious guy, in the classroom. But bro, nobody cared. Like, nobody cared. Um, my junior year in high school, I started talking to this girl. Um, that would later, pretty quickly, we would start dating. And just to sum up that relationship, I grew to be very emotionally, mentally abusive to this girl. And that's sort of when, like I just mentioned, like that cycle of thinking that I can do anything, act any way, and it had no repercussions, like that it had no negative effect to the person on the back end of my actions. So time goes on. We're about 6 months. We were together for 6 months until she was like she couldn't do it anymore. Like at this point, I just didn't know how to love her. Um, and it had the relationship had taken its toll on her and me. But so she ended it at the end of last year, 2022. And at this point, I'm at like the after that, I'm like at the lowest point of my life. Um, During the relationship, I had restructured my whole life around it. So now that it was over, it was like, what am I? What am I doing? Like, I would easily fall into anger, into depression, into anxiety, into that list. The things that I struggled with was a very long one. That list of things. But it took me even. It was just like I had a hard time accepting the fact that, like, and I don't want to put it all. I can't put it all on my dad, but it's like it was just like a shock. Like, wow, this girl doesn't want to put up with my foolishness anymore. What's wrong with her? Like, that was such a punch in the face to me. Like, bro, the world, the universe does not revolve around you. You cannot do anything you want to people, say anything you want to people. You just can't do that. And as time goes on, and expect everything to be rainbows and cupcakes, like it's just not that simple. And it just after that, I just had so much low self-esteem and stuff. Um, I would talk to girls, or I would talk to a girl after that relationship just to try and find that feeling again, find feeling so I could feel complete again. And I just had no idea that at that time that no other person on their own can feel that void for you. And I had a hard time coming to terms with that. Um, at at this point, I'm picking up that I just can't I can't lean on myself anymore. Something is off deep inside my soul. Something has to change. I can't keep on going down these anger spirals and closing myself off in isolation with this mindset that if I'm alone, then nobody can affect me, or nobody can harm me or hurt me in any way, or like if nobody's around me, then I'm safe. But being alone in itself is what was slowly killing me. Um, so I'm coming to terms that I need something more significant than myself, something stronger than myself to keep me sort of upholstered and head on straight. Um, I don't remember how, but at the beginning of this year, we were around like after Christmas, right about at the New Year for 2023. I started doing daily devotional plans on the Bible app on my phone, and I somehow fell into a habit of that, and just I slowly started to read God's word more and more. I couldn't tell you why or how, but it was just happening. I don't even know what led to that moment, other than, oh, well, I guess disparity, just being so desperate for something more. But I don't know. Other than that, I don't know how that habit formed and how I didn't drop it. But um, But yeah, keep in mind before this, I'm barely going to church. Like, I might listen to a sermon every blue moon. Like my house, I grew up in sort of that household where like we we have the label, we have that label as Christians, but the lifestyle really says something completely different. Um, um, a little time goes, and I start to get the hang of how to study the Bible, and I get comfortable with it. But I get a little too comfortable. I'm at that point now where like the introvert in me is like, I mean, I mean, you're getting closer to God for sure, but you don't really need to go join a community of God's people. You don't need to find a local church or anything like that. That is what my flesh is telling me, basically. And I was just like, I thought I'd just keep my little Bible sessions going, just me chilling alone still. Um, Maybe join a church later, but definitely not now. Definitely not a chance in the world am I taking my butt and joining a church and sitting every Sunday, um, surrounded by God's people. Not yet. Not yet. But so I thought. That's what I thought. About a month later in February, I got invited to a local church that my digital media teacher went to. That this guy really helped me in my passion for videography. He went to this church, which I now consider my church home. Um, and at that first service, I was just expecting to sort of like walk in there, go there, you know, maybe hear some good points, and then go home, and that'd be it. And just a little taste of church, not join a church. But they had this video there that they play before each service called pre-roll. And me being a video junkie, bro, like anything that it's just, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, just everything in me was compelled by this video. And that sounds weird to anybody who's not as into video as I am. So, um, yeah, I'm just captured by this video. And to this day, I think that God used that video to plant me into a church family. Because it just, after that video, and then I can't remember what the sermon was that day, but after those things, I just felt hooked, and I felt the need to come back and come back and come back and connect myself. After that, in March, early March, I was water baptized just to sort of let everybody know who I belong to now. You know, things they're picking up now. I'm getting the hang of it. I'm no longer trying to do things on my own, which I'm still struggling with. I'm definitely, I used to be on the starting lineup of the Control Freak team. But during this summer of 2023, God placed on my heart the reasons why He gave me the gifts of showing creation through a lens, through a camera lens, or through social media. He showed me the reasons why, and it was so much more than what I wanted to do. With myself, I felt Him leading me to reach His people, to throw everything what I thought about media and what I would make a career out of it for myself, and say, no, forget that. Go feed my sheep. Go feed my people with the gifts I've given you. I'm not gonna lie. I let I let God's call ring for a little bit before I answered it. Because just like any human, anything that I didn't know about, anything unknown intimidated me. I was like, nah, bro. I think I'm good on what I got going on right now. The pace I'm at. But everything God is calling me to do at this point is not like anything I had never done or come up on my own at all. Um, but through this stage of my life and where God was bringing me through, I had to cling to the idea that if God is calling me somewhere to a specific place that He has laid out for me, then He's going to give me every single resource that I need to get to where He wants me to go. And I had to tell myself that quite a few times before I really bought into it. And I want you to take that same, whoever's watching this, I need you to take that truth away too and apply it to whatever situation you may be facing, difficult or not. That if He's called you somewhere, be sure that He's the person that called you there is going to give you the means to get there. You know what I'm saying? Which can be hard to lose sight of. I'm excited to see what all God is going to do with this platform and this podcast. I have some, we have some plans to reach you guys with other than just this podcast, but I believe that God will do amazing things with all of this. I'm still on the young side. I'm only 17 years old, so if possible, give me a little extra grace as God navigates me through this journey. Because as we go on this journey, you guys will probably learn some things from me, but I'm gonna be learning as well. You know what I'm saying? We learn it together. So just keep that in mind, and give a little grace to me. But yeah, I didn't want to make this like a overly crazy hour and a half type episode, but I'm excited. I'm really excited. And I just want you guys to remember, don't fear, because heaven is here. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.